final game for the weekend and this session. We have the YongHan Blue Helmets taking on the LIDA Tigers. This is 4th placed Blue Helmets and the table leaders, the Tigers. Blue Helmets not having the best games yesterday with 2 losses, but they still have 4th place at the moment, with the Commandos drawing against the Bulls earlier. The Hippos just drew level with the Tigers. Tigers just ahead on goal difference, but they will be looking for the win here to get 3 points clear of the Hippos. Both teams coming to the centre for their introductions to the crowd. Good crowd here in the Ningbo Olympic Sports Centre on a Sunday afternoon. And introducing the players now. The captain of the LIDA Tigers from Australia, Adam Hoffmeyer. Number 2 from Russia, Vladislav Skomorokov. Number 3 from Chinese Taipei, Wei Chen Cao. Number 4 from the Netherlands, Lucas Reinders. Number 8 from New Zealand, Joshua Vivian. Number 11 from Germany, Tim Rieke. And number 12 from France, Benjamin Dolbic. Number 11 from France, David Blayo. And number 3 from France, Valentin Gori. Number 4 from Italy, Tommaso Ricciardi. Number 6 from Germany, Patrick Lawrence. Number 7 from Singapore, Lee Sing Fu. Number 8 from Australia, Stephen Hubbard. Number 9 from Spain, Ivan Hoyofuentes. And the captain of the Blue Helmets, number 10 from New Zealand, Alex Long. Our referees for this game, we have Stephen Watts from Great Britain and Chen Shenghua from Chinese Taipei. Blue Helmets very eager for a result in this game to go their way. If they get a win here, it does make them clear of the Commandos resurging to try and take their 4th place, and they will get a certain spot in the finals for next weekend. A draw would put them 2 points clear of the Commandos, which would put them at risk of losing their placing to them in their final game, depending on the results. David McVeigh joining me in commentary for this third and final game. After playing his game, David, how did you feel?
We're disappointed. Yeah, we can play a lot better than that. We obviously have to look at our discipline. We need to watch the replays. We're not really entirely sure what the different fouls were that led to the red card. So yeah, we'll just have to take it and replay it. There was almost an equal number of fouls both ways, but I think ours were deemed to be more serious. So yeah, it's difficult. I think the main frustration for the Wolves is that we're cutting ourselves out of the game. We're not necessarily being beaten on a match level, just making one or two mistakes or being punished for breaks in discipline. So yeah, we've got a week now to improve, though, come back. I think points wise we might be okay now for the semi-final after the result earlier today. So we have one more game against this Blue Helmets team, who I think announced. The Blue Helmets are now in a tussle against the Commandos for that final semi-final position. So that game is important for the rest of the league. So we're competitive. We'll approach it for the win. But yeah, that's all that we got left before the semi-finals. So the Blues will be looking to win this game to put a gap between them and the Commandos. Will that put them out of reach? Probably with a game left.
It will.
Yeah, so this is the Blues' opportunity to secure that semi-final spot. Tigers looking for a perfect weekend and top the league. So we're off here with Ivan sprinting. And the ball is won by Vladislav. Great technique there, using his nose to just shift the ball over to one side and take it. So Tigers start with the first play of the game.
Do want to correct you on that though there, David. Your final game is against the Commandos, not the Blue Helmets.
Yeah, sorry, I knew it was one of the two.
Though that will be an interesting game because Commandos will be fighting for that fourth spot depending on how the result of this game goes.
Yeah. So the Tigers setting up here with their favourite attacking setup. Vladislav on one side, Adam Hoffmeyer playing down the centre, Tim Reek on the right. Just fumbles that, but gets away with it. He will reset. This setup has been working really, really nicely for them. Foul called both ways by the referee there, so they'll just have to decide which one came first. Tigers will have the ball. So this Tigers attack, Vladislav is obviously top goal scorer at the moment. Tim Reek on the right-hand side is a really potent shooter, drawing the defence either side, and then Adam Hoffmeyer down the middle has a really large clutch of goals just down the middle through the gap that they create. So really working together nicely.
An excellent goal there from Lucas Reinders. Great work from Tim Reek driving that ball in, feeding it across to him under the goal and putting it past David Blair's paddle.
Yeah, and after losing the box threat of Sami Hipita, not here for the second season in CPSL, it's good to see them having players step up in that central position, giving them threats all round in the attack. So you want to be impartial commentating on these games, but I think it might be nice to see the underdogs here, the Blues, potentially get back in the game. The advantage of the Tigers winning from a neutral perspective is that it keeps the Commandos in. They can train all week, knowing that they still have a chance to make the semi-finals. First shot there a bit. Shot clock maybe running out. Taking a bit early.
Hoffmeyer had drifted out of goal ever so slightly, so there was a bit of an opening there for Sing Fu.
So Tigers in no rush, setting up their attack, looking for space.
Oh, Vivian's shot just over the bar.
So Ivan taking it down the left-hand side, gets the shot away. That was definitely touched in flight. I think the corner has been given. No, foul has been given, so ball will come back over. See whether he takes this or feeds it back out, or even tries to feed it inside to the captain, Alex Lowen, who wants it.
Give it to Blay, who's charging instead, but his shot is blocked by Vivian. Hoffmeyer does pick it up. Sends it, but great work from Hoya Fuentes to pounce on that.
Big opportunity here. This is a 3-on-2, and they convert.
Excellent goal there from Patrick Lawrence. Shooting it under the paddle and into that bottom left-hand corner.
So only just over 3 minutes of this game played. 1-1 so far. Teams just feeling each other out at the moment. Seems quite tight, tighter than initially expected at least. Another foul on the shooting player there. Hoffmeyer potentially taking a sub after that foul. He's not in the attack currently. So Tigers playing this attack with 4 whilst the player comes on. Oh, Hoffmeyer has rejoined. His hand is okay again now. Played in nicely to Tim Reek. And must have been blocked out for a corner. Hoffmeyer just taking the ball around the back, waiting for spaces to open up. Tigers are playing around with their attack a bit at the moment. Different formation.
Fumble there from Skonrakov. Pounced on by Stephen Hubbard. Gives it to Lawrence.
Yeah, not playing on his favourite side there. There is a break on.
Gets it through to Ricciardi. Oh. That open goal off the bottom bar just doesn't manage to put it away.
That's fairly criminal to miss. He will have to erase that from his mind immediately. So a massive, massive opportunity missed for the Blue Helmets there. We'll have to see later on whether that was a crucial opportunity, but they should be 2-1 up at this stage. Great save there, and it's got his team the ball back as well. Oh wait, referee's giving different decisions on whether this is a corner or a goal throw. Pretty sure this came back off the Tigers player, although the Blues have set back up again.
Bit of frustration showing from the players though, so we'll see whether that results in anything as well.
And it is a corner.
It little smirk there from Skorokov.
Not sure whether that means it was a corner or wasn't, but it doesn't matter at this point. Tigers get the attack. Ball lofted over the top there, almost snatched out.
Oh, good goal there from number 11, Tim Rike.
Plays it right over the top. If the Blue Helmets play ahead there.
Number 8 for the Blue Helmets, Stephen Hubbard, just getting caught out and not able to meet that drive and shut Tim down early. Lawrence's feed inside to Hubbard, just bouncing off his boat and out.
So over halfway in this first half now, 2-1 to the Tigers. Massive long shot there from Adam Hoffmeyer, well into his own half, but he had a player free. There's Tim Reek completely free up the pitch. You can see him there disappointed. What's that ball? 4 minutes left on the half. Lawrence can't gather, ends up shuffling it into the Tigers player. So the break is on again. 3 against 2 currently. This is an opportunity they should convert. They go for the long shot, he doesn't. 2-on-1 now. Oh, great block there from David Bleo. Fantastic. Fantastic steal of the ball, that. He will have been behind the play the whole time, working to get back into it, and just manages to get back and block that. Likely a goal-saving play. Foul is called against the Blue Helmets. Just waiting to see what's given here. Okay, so it is for the Blue Helmets. Kayak tackle.
There are 5 paddles in the air, but doesn't matter for their captain, Alex Lowe, and he puts the ball in the back of the net regardless.
He has no right to score that goal. Goes for the underarm punch just under the blades.
An early shot there from the Tigers in response, stopped by Bleo. Blue Helmets will be happy with that because straight after their goal, they do get possession. Gives them the chance to get a lead in this first half.
Lawrence trying to gather, does. Lots of hands on him there.
And he does win the free as well, so trying to get into the position for the shot.
Referees will place him. The Tigers' defence has to give him space to come in.
Nice work there from Gorry, just moving Wei Chen out of the way. Unlucky there for Lawrence.
And he'd beaten all the paddles as well. Even worse, it's bounced out of play. So the Tigers get the ball. I'm not going to get to see a replay, but that whole side of the goal was open. Two and a half minutes left on this half. Blue Helmets giving the table leaders a really good game here. Not sure if that was a save or off the bar, but Tigers regain possession. Tigers have reverted back to their favourite attack, although they just switched back again now, just as I say that. Oh, great pass across.
Dolberg, and Vivian's shot just off the bar.
Does it take a touch on the way through? No, clean miss. So it's a goal throw to the Blue Helmets.
A minute 40.
That was a fantastic pass across from Dolbeck, but not converted by Vivian. So 1.5 minutes now to try and take a lead in this first half. Takes the shot after the fake. Well gathered again by Lowen. He's currently got a boat on top of him though. That should be a foul. Foul is given, despite the protest of Tim Reek. Probably couldn't see the boat behind him on top. When a player is upside down, you can't impede them coming back upright again. So 1 minute on the game and the shot clock. See if the Blue Helmets play this out. No foul given for that push there.
Now with Blayo.
Still 36 seconds on the clock. Blue Helmets happy to run it down for one chance. It's good patience on the ball there. There wasn't anything on. 3 paddles in front of Blayo. So with 25 seconds on the game, you'd think this will be their last opportunity. Just run down the time. Make sure that a break isn't on afterwards. Good pass there. 2 passes inside.
Feeds it through to the captain. On Lowen's shot blocked out.
That was really well worked by the Blue Helmets for that opportunity. Tigers did well to recover and get the block in. So 3 seconds left. Trap is being played on the corner, so you'll have to put it high if you can't get it through, which will obviously run down the clock. Shot has to come immediately. Does. That was blocked in flight. Penalty. Will it be given? Oh, only a corner's been given. I think he has a right to feel aggrieved. Certainly from the angle that we saw on the television there. I think we're going to get a replay of that final shot, sadly, but he was convinced. Nice ball inside. Oh, under the bar.
Unlucky there for Alex Lowen, but great play from the Blue Helmets to get that shot within the 1 second.
That might have been given if it had gone in. So 2-2 at half-time. Second half to come.
All right, and we're about to get this second half underway. Joining me, fellow Australian for the Caton Hippos, Luke Holmes. Luke,
G'day.
how are you?
Not too bad. Good to get back in the winner's circle. Yesterday afternoon, not the best game we've had, and to be able to come back and get a good start today and then lead into next weekend, I think is going to be good for us.
Yeah, it was a good game to see. Wolves trying to fight back in that second half, but that yellow card and then the red card, just putting them the player down, meant that you had a fairly cruisy end to that game.
Yeah, in a way. I think we made it a little hard on ourselves as well. We didn't handle the situation quite as well as we might have liked, but a little bit of bad luck and a few bad decisions made it a little closer than we might have liked. But thankfully for us, we had enough in hand early to hold off the late charge, and then to have a little bit of help with the man up for the last minute or two meant that we could get away with it.
So we've got a week to train before the next games next weekend. What do you see the Hippos looking to improve over that week of training?
I think just a little bit of everything. A little more familiarity with the team. Obviously, some of the guys have played together previously, either in the first season of CPSL and in previous years as well. But we brought on some new guys, and the dynamic just changes a little bit, and everyone's got to learn their role again a little bit and work out exactly how we're going to structure up and how things are going to go. Get all the communication down. Communication is such an important part of playing high-level polo, and when you're coming from lots of different countries, everybody uses different language, different things to describe the same situations, and sometimes you can be yelling something and two people on the team know exactly what you're talking about and someone else has no idea.
So we've just seen the foul for Alex Lyon being upgraded to a penalty for the Tigers not allowing him to get into his position, and as a result he has converted that against Hoffmeyer, and the Blue Helmets take the lead 3-2.
Blue Helmets obviously under a little bit of pressure at the moment. They need wins to be able to go through and have a really good crack at the semis. I think a win here almost secures it for them.
It does secure it for them.
And obviously, yellow, the Tigers had a good season one and looking to get a bit of momentum coming into the next season. I think they're already safe in the finals, but obviously you want to go in not showing any weakness, not being susceptible, not showing any teams how to beat you. So obviously they want to get back up and get to next weekend with as much momentum as they can.
They did have a very successful first season, the Blue Helmets, with that week of training in between the first and second weekend. Some very poor results for them in that first weekend, but they were out on the water as an entire team training every single day, and it paid off with 3 very strong wins against the Wolves and the Tigers. So great performances, and we'll see whether they continue that trend again for this coming training week. And excellent work there from Tommaso Ricciardi to win that ball back. Feed it across to Lawrence, but the shot is blocked for a corner. You can see that commitment from multiple members of the Blue Helmets, just wanting to win that. They really do want the win here to make sure that they secure that finals berth and not having to rely on that final game against the Bulls.
In this sort of situation where the Blue Helmet find themselves 1 goal up, 7.5 minutes to go, it can be very tricky. You've got to find that balance of continuing to play the game, continuing to try and score, not go into your shells, not lose the game, not be too passive, but also you don't want to risk it. You don't want to give away free passes, free shots. You don't want to take the risk like they just did then, tried to push the ball inside, but were fouled on the attempt, so they do get it back and get the inside shot.
Oh, and very cheeky there from Ivan Hoyer-Fuentes that I'm not too sure the referee has just halted.
I think the referee might be calling it back. He did not present the ball correctly. in Polo, you do have to present the ball before you take a penalty, before you take a free shot. Ivan, in that case, trying to get away a quick shot, didn't present correctly, and the referee has pulled him up on it. And a little bit of luck, I think, for Tiger there, but probably correct by the letter of the law.
Tigers will be happy with that because they felt hard done by with him putting that ball in, because they were definitely not ready for it. And they do get what looks like a goal line there. It doesn't look like it took a deflection.
I think a little bit of frustration there from Ivan. Not happy having the goal taken away from him. Decides to take the shot anyway when it maybe wasn't there.
He did have 4 paddles to get through on quite a tight angle, so. And the Tigers get their equalising goal through number 11, Tim Rike. Some huge space created on that right-hand side by Joshua Vivian. Rike just driving down and getting a strong shot off.
Both teams being just a little slow to react to the turnovers at the moment. In that previous goal for Yellow, Blue were a little slow getting back. Yellow took advantage. Blue almost returned the favour straight away, coming straight down the field, putting pressure on the defence before they're ready, getting the shot up. And luckily for Yellow, Hoffmeyer was able to make the block, reset the play, and give his team time to set up the defence and go again.
Will be interesting to see how this half progresses and whether the Blue Helmets look to put even more pressure on the Tigers. We saw in our games yesterday the Tigers, when pressed in both their games, looked very shaky. Blue Helmets with a very strong press against the Commandos up until that yellow card they received, so that may be something that they look to do once the clock goes down a little bit, try and get some pressure, get some turnovers, some fast breaks. We'll see what the remaining 6 minutes of this game have in store for us.
A draw for Blue Helmets doesn't help them a huge amount. Is that correct?
It puts them 2 points clear of the Commandos, but they will still need to get a result in that final game against the Bulls. A win would put them, if they did get a draw here, a win would put them through safely. A draw would mean that if the Commandos were to win their game, it would come down to goal difference.
It's an interesting decision to make as a team. Do you go out, put the pressure on, try and get the win now and secure the spot? Do you take the draw, give yourself a little bit more flexibility in the final game than if you were to go out, try and put the pressure on, end up with a loss? Gives you only one chance left. But interesting decision. I think the worst thing they can do is what just happened there, and easy turnovers, give the ball back. Yellow just settling down, working back, settling into their offense. Under no real pressure to score. They probably just want to keep going, keep working their structures, get as good a Polo as they can leading into the finals.
Arguably, the dynamic of this Tigers team has changed considerably from Season 1. I think a lot of that comes down to the loss of Sammy Hapata in Season 2. Sammy, if you are watching this, we do miss you.
I don't. So much on the water, at least. Quite happy to not have you sitting on my nose. As being in Australia and New Zealand, Sammy has spent a lot of time sitting quite close to my nose while I'm in goals, and not a fun place to be as a goalkeeper.
Off the water though, do have to say his karaoke skills are quite entertaining.
Not something I've had the pleasure of. Of course, Sammy's presence is still felt. A lot of the graphic design that you see through a lot of the coverage and through the team work was done by Sammy.
All the boats and the helmets And the PFDs, all the designs done by his. Say it's a great look for the sport. Some awesome logos on all the gear.
3.5 minutes to go now. Blue definitely need 1 goal. Probably would like 2. And question of when do you start to push? Do you look to press? Do you play a looser zone, chase the ball, try and put the ball under pressure? Do you just sit back and have confidence that your defense will get the turnover and you can go down and score? In that case, sat back, waited, the shot came, they've got the turnover. Still, 3 minutes to go, 2 goals, not a lot of time. But you don't want to rush it and turn over. That being said.
Oh, unlucky there.
Oh.
Alex Lowen, his shot just out, but he does feel that there was some contact on the shot, so feeling very hard done by with that. And the goal there to Lucas Reinders, putting them 2 goals ahead. Not where the Blue Helmets want to be. And they have called their timeout now.
You'd have to expect Blue from here on out. Any turnover, any end line will be looking to press, put pressure on the ball. They do need to score quickly if they get the turnover, but with the CPSL rules, lots of timeouts, any ball out of play, obviously the clock stops. A little more time than we might be used to in a lot of other polo. Yellow probably here just talking about playing solid defense, not turning the ball over. You know, keeping it simple. These team talks are an interesting thing to be in if you haven't been in them before. Lots of different people speaking lots of different languages, varying levels of English. English does tend to be the working language by default, but you will find in some of these teams you'll have one person speaking in English and then the message needs to be passed on in a different language to someone else and a different language to someone else, and it is a unique experience for a lot of polo players who've spent most of their time playing in clubs with people living in the same city and national teams from the same country.
Oh, unlucky there for Lowen. His shot just glancing off that upright bar. Great work by Hoya Fuentes to intercept that ball and regain possession for the Blue Helmets, though, and sends it straight down the other end to Lowen. Great work there to win it. Now with Ricciardi, Tigers are back in defence. Oh, I feel like that just was on the outside. Yeah, hitting the underside of the net, although it did look like it was a goal. And the Tigers have called their timeout now. Adam just telling the referees that, making sure they remember Blue Helmets do have to go to the other side. Undoubtedly they do, but he does love having a little bit of banter with the referees. I know the referees don't enjoy it nearly as much as he does. So it does look like the Blue Helmets are going to be pressing for the remainder of this game. So Tigers will probably be discussing that and how they're going to combat that. We did see their previous 2 games yesterday. Their opposition were pressing them. They ended up with, towards the end of both games, just paddling away from their opposition, running away with the ball, just holding onto it as long as possible.
a tricky position here from Blue. Obviously, they need the ball back, but anytime they give away a foul, if they go a little bit too hard, a little bit uncontrolled, resets the shot clock and an extra 60 seconds that Yellow can just hold the ball. Every second that Yellow has the ball is to their advantage. They just want to run down the clock, use as much time as possible, take one shot at the end. There's a bit of a loose push by Patrick. He's getting a little bit lucky there. Probably gave away a foul or two that did not get called.
And Blue Helmets have won the ball. One minute left in this game. Blue Helmets do have to score 2 to equalise. But they have lost the ball. Alex Lowen's pass just being intercepted there by Skomarikov. Sending it over to Tim Rico, who's playing anchor right under the goal. He'll happily just sit on the ball as long as possible. They will look for the shot if it's open, but otherwise they'll be happy with it.
Blue now with the turnover. 30 seconds to go, 2 goals. I've seen stranger things happen, but it is unlikely at this stage.
And
but there is one of them.
Excellent goal there from Patrick Lawrence. 17 seconds left. I have a bit of a feeling that I know what the Tigers are going to be doing for this last 17 seconds.
I'd say so. Blue really need to be on the ball. They need to get out quickly, cover the players. They can't give Yellow time to set up. In the previous games, they've been able to set up and set that blockade and just pass the ball in the safe zone back and forth and take 20, 30 seconds off the clock. Blue really need to get up the field, get to all the attackers, put pressure on the ball. Maybe there's a loose pass, maybe there's a blocked pass.
So just correction on the board there, 20 seconds left. Seconds left. Patrick just being a bit too eager there, giving away the foul. 5 seconds left. All that Ryan just has to do is just hold on to it. And that is full time. So Tigers, 3rd time in a row, they get the win by 1 goal. Struggling to just hold on to the ball in that press at the end, but they do get the result. Blue Helmets, unfortunate to get anything there, are at the mercy of their last game to make the finals and retain their 4th place against the resurging Commandos in 5th. So that is all the games that we have for you for today. We have more games next weekend, but thank you for tuning in, and we'll see everyone again on Saturday. Thank you very much, Luke.
Thanks, Jay.